I've been using this fancy carbide-tipped metal saw to cut angle iron for my lawn tractor trailer, except in the process I messed up the blade. But just recently I've discovered just how well some of these really thin abrasive cutoff discs for angle grinders work. They're very thin, so they cut really fast. So I was thinking, what if I built something like a sliding compound miter saw for an angle grinder that would allow me to guide the grinder very carefully and precisely as I make a long cut. And then I thought, well, I could just use this surface here to guide the angle grinder. So I made this thing here, which should allow me to guide it around the workpiece like so. Now I see a lot of people using angle grinders like this without the guard, and I think it's because these cutoff discs are very commonly available in 5 inches, and angle grinders are typically 4.5 inches, which means these blades just barely don't fit. But this one, which is from Canadian Tire, the blade guard is just barely big enough that if I bend this thing a little bit here, I can get that in, and I can fit the 5-inch disc in a 4.5-inch grinder. Now, I don't have the right wrench for this one here. This one is for this one here, but I can just put it on the edge like that and tighten it like so. And I was thinking this guard, it would be useful to have perhaps a little bit more bearing surface. So I made this wooden thingy that fits over the guard, and that gives me more surface to support the grinder in the right position. Now, just to make things difficult, I'm going to try to cut this piece of bed frame angle iron at the most complicated point and at an odd angle. Now, I have to warn you, I haven't actually tried this thing yet, so I have no idea what's going to happen. I'd say that's pretty flat. Nice and flat. Though on this side, there's about a millimeter gap right here, so I'm not sure if that was heat or a lack of practice. And the disc, which was almost touching the guard before, now it's got about 1.5 millimeters of gap there, so I'd say this disc is about 1/20th used up. They don't last forever. And just look at this cutoff. It looks like something totally deadly, very sharp.